Meeting of the South Dakota Mines Student Association Senate to order. Roll call and approval of proxies.
Archer. Here. Camps. Here. Dumont. Present. Else. Here. Espinette. Here. Fernandez. Here. Hewitt.
Here.
Burns.
Here.
Call.
Here.
Kessinger. Here. Leonard. Here. Lewis. Here. McCallum.
Here.
Paulson. Here. Quigley.
Here.
Russ.
Here.
Ben Ruler.
Here.
Whip. Here. We have quorum.
All right. Moving on. Any issues with the agenda? See none. Agenda is approved. Unanimous consent. Minutes. There's a few changes that were made, just with some of the numbers listed on the screen. Is there any other issues? Okay. See none. Minutes are approved. Unanimous consent. Open floor guests. Sodexo. You guys have the floor.
Where would you like us to be? Right up front. Huh? Okay. Well, first let me introduce myself. My name is Jerry Fry. I've been with Sodexo for several years and in the industry many, many years. I actually recognize most of the faces in this room because I've seen you guys for the last couple of weeks coming into the dining hall. This is Kyle Michael, and he's here for us for the retail business aspect. I was asked to come up here to take over the School of Mines from Sodexo to improve what needs to be, to actually put our Sodexo experience into the campus. We realized that we had quite a few shortfalls to open up with, I guess is a good way to say that. So the person that was here, we removed 2 weeks ago. Aaron is no longer with us. He's still with the company, but no longer here on this premises. I also brought a chef with myself that travels with myself. I normally go in and set the front of the house and get everything done. He normally sets the back of the house. His name is Duff Holcomb. He'll actually be back here again tomorrow. Our job is to get a chef hired, to get a GM hired, put him in place, get them trained, get them developed before we leave the campus. So we could be here 2 weeks, we could be here a month, we could be here a couple months. I hope before snow flies. We got a chef hired. Our chef is going to start with us on the 3rd of October. She'll be coming and being trained by Duff. She comes out of California, she's hotel trained, so I think that's a good perspective of the type of food we're looking to serve. I guess I want to open the floor up to you guys, I guess, before I keep rolling and see if there's stuff that's concerns of yours or anything that we can approach and get corrected if you see something wrong. And then I can kind of tell you how I felt when I came in. So you guys have been here longer than I have. You've seen the difference. Does it seem like there's been an impact in the last couple of weeks? That would be my question to you all. And again, I say hello to all of you. I've been in there morning, day, and night, every day for the last 2 weeks. And I go through every meal plan with them before they go out to double check it and triple check it. We've been working very diligently on the weekends to do a good brunch and for both Saturdays and Sundays. So let me open up the floor to you if you've got questions. If I can answer them, I'll be more happy to. Our job is to give you guys the best experience while you're here at college campus from a nourishment point and a quality of food. No questions or good questions?
I guess I would just like to see kind of you be able to outline the timeline that you've given the group that had met with you a couple of weeks ago.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
If you'd be able to give the timeline for some of the other services offered and some of the other food stations offered by Sodexo and kind of the timeline for getting those open.
Okay, if we look at a dining hall, all our food stations should be up and running. And they've been up and running since, I think, 3 days after I got here. So I think all stations are running from on a Monday through Friday. We've got all stations running on the weekends as well that we're setting up for brunch. My question to you guys, to you folks would be, Is there something that you want to see different? Is there something you'd like to see in there that's part of our program that we can put in there? So from the dining perspective, Cody, I think that we've opened up all the stations. We've done quite a variety of food. If you've been there with me during this last couple of weeks, we've changed that, what we call comfort zone all the time. We do a variety of foods in there. We're doing quite a different variety of pizzas right now. We're working on different items for the grill. We set the entire salad bar deli in area up completely. So if you walk that entire salad bar area, everything is completely full. We've put ice cream back into the campus. We have ice cream, I guess, when we got here. So we've got ice cream back in there. We've got our baker making pastries in the morning and desserts for the evening shifts. So from the dining hall, I think we're targeted, and we just got to get consistency to make sure the consistency is there and make sure that the service is there. And we're still struggling right now for staff. I mean, if you or anyone that knows the countryside, the entire nation, the United States is suffering for labor. We've hired more people. Our basis to come work with us now, especially if it's not a student but more of a outside, is you have to be working on weekends. I will not hire you in here unless you accept to work with us on weekends. It seems like everybody thinks that a college campus is Monday through Friday, but it's not. It's 7 days a week, and it's like 24 hours a day. So from that perspective, we keep adding more and more on. We just put 3 new additional people in Einstein's.
Correct.
Einstein's needs another 3 people. We're doing our due diligence to get them staffed up over there. And then let's talk a little bit about the minor shop.
And I would just quick add, from a dining hall perspective, the only thing that will be waiting to come is the U-Cook station, which that will come in the spring. So that construction will happen over winter break while all students are gone. And assuming no delays, we'll be ready to go for
So
the spring.
let me roll off that, Corey. Our thoughts are this, and then please give me your feedback. We thought about until we get to the U-Cook station is I've got what they call induction cookers, which you can cook on the outside. So I thought about maybe setting up that thing, reverse it a little bit, and then having students come in and prepare your own food over in that station to give you a chance to cook. And if we do that, you'd be sauteing your own. We give you a meal to plan over there, and then you just cook your own food and take it out. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something you think you might be interested in? All you great cooks and chefs. It's a great thing to get ready for when you're off school.
Never mind.
Thoughts? Yes? No? No interest in it? Until we get, because the U-Cook station is going to come in, and that's going to be part of your part of the meal plan is to do that. So we're trying to, before, instead of waiting on all the equipment, we put some stuff together and try to get it set up ahead of time to give you guys a chance to get in there and start testing it and see if that's what you really enjoy doing.
I think that might be a good idea, kind of see the students' kind of perspective on it before
the actual piece
before it's actually put in, and,
yeah.
and then kind of decide, okay, this students don't like this, let's go with something else, let's redirect.
How long is it going to take on average to make those meals up?
I can't answer that question. We'll have to put the things up there, we'll test them, and maybe you can be the tester with me, you know. You get a couple folks in here that would like to volunteer to work with me on that, and we can do that, and we can also teach the other students as well.
2 things on that. For one, I think time commitment to it is going to be a concern from our student body, just with how busy everything is, especially this semester picking up. 2, we do have a full dining committee now.
Okay, great.
That will be kind of put your way, kind of support you in that. I guess what about the other retail areas within campus?
So right now with the minor shack, which is the C-store that's there, we just opened up the back. We opened up the doors, and we opened up the counter to go through there. We had a piece of equipment that's going to take 95 days to get it. That's a charcoal grill. We found one yesterday, and we'll get it in 7 days. So we've got that going on. We've got what we call ghost lockers, and the ghost lockers are where you'll use the everything app, and then you order your food, and then we put it in the locker, you come down and pick it up. Those are not gonna be in until the end of October. So what we're thinking about doing is getting the Minor Shack open to cook food, the burgers and the variety of things that we can have. That'll go out of there ahead of time. We just need to get two things we need to do. We need to get staff, and we need to get all the product in. I showed you for you this morning where we stand on that. So the one across the street, the Rocker, we've been going through that with Corey and Barb and Bill for the last 2 weeks. We're going to do soft seating over there. There'll be a soft seating area. There'll be a dining area as well to go in. It's going to be called what we call 365. 365 is 24/7. You'll be at that place. Will be open 24/7. You're going to be there on the honor system. You're going to be in there. You're going to swipe, and you're going to go in. You put the food in. You scan it, and then you take it and go. We'll have a variety. I can't give you the exact details of the food that's in there right now until I make sure we got the refrigeration, everything that go in that we have to have. We're also going to turn that in long term. Short term is we may not get it done as fast as we want to, but as we talked this morning, we want to take that and make it very student centric as far as on the walls, and to take, they sent me over 1,000 photographs of South Dakota mines. We're going to pick them out, we're going to put them together, submit them back to the university to do murals on the wall to cover the entire inside with the student environment. So our goal, and we've got a couple pieces of equipment, it's a standing joke with us right now because it's like, if it's still in the China Sea, it's a hopefully it'll come back to us, you know. It's one of those things that's been, we've got 5 schools in South Dakota, and I think we've got 1 machine so far. And we're still struggling getting the machines. It's a lot to do with the supply. Food is getting a little bit better, but we're also cycling the menus to what we can actually get. When we started putting menus together, we didn't anticipate the shortage of different varieties of food to get. And we're realizing that. So right now we're restructuring the entire menus. In the perfect world today, you should have had the menus online. You should have had them. You should have been able to go into Sodexo My Way, go onto a website, look at meals for 5 weeks out. It gives you all your nourishment. It gives you all the calories. I want to say, but I don't want to commit to a period of time because the biggest thing we have to do is we shop out of Montana to get our groceries. That's where the product comes from. It's called Cisco, Montana. When they first came here, they put one together and they did it out of Cisco, Nebraska. And they didn't have the food that was on our menus. That's why we ran into a lot of problems with that. So as I told, I'd rather do it right and take a little bit more time. So when we put it up, it's going to come up and stay up. So we're doing our due diligence. I don't want to give you a date on that because until they get it to me, until we go through and filter through and make sure it fits this campus. Once it does that, we put it on the web and we go. Then you'll be able to see what you have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're moving in that direction. What they do, my job is to come in and fix accounts. That's what I have. That's my job to do, is come in and fix accounts. I've done that for many years. One of the things I find of fixing accounts, and the folks that come in the dining hall, you see I'm there. And I'm there talking to the students and trying to meet the student body so that we know who we're dealing with, and you know who's running the show. You know who's there out front. Our last person, unfortunately, got stuck in the back of the house, and it really hurt him as an individual, as a leader, because he wasn't able to get out from cooking. That's not my role. I don't do that. So I brought people with me to make sure I don't have to do that. So you're going to see me out front all the time. Our schedules are kind of, we go on the road. I've been on the road now for 23 days. I'm going home tomorrow. I'll be going home a week, and then I'll be back again. Most of our times that you'll see us, we've got 3 of us right now that's on rotations. We'll be here for 10 days, take 4 days off, come in for 10 days, take 4 days off. This way we get to go see our families for 4 days and then come back up. The team you got right now, I tell you, I feel very confident that we can get this turned very quickly. And I think we've done a lot in the last week and a half to 2 weeks just to change the feel of the dining hall and change the feel of that you know that someone's out there planning for you. Feedback, anyone? I see you guys all the time. You're awful quiet here right now.
I eat a lot there.
Huh?
I eat a lot there.
You know, it's, I will tell you, I've been doing dining halls I've been doing schools for 20 years. And I've been through a lot of the top schools in the country. And I keep telling Corey and I keep telling the other folks, you guys hit us and you hit us hard. Okay, and you come in at 5 o'clock and you're there. And I'm hoping that we can feed you as fast as we can to make it to you. But I think on the other side, once we get these retail locations up and you get different options, that'll give you another choice to be as well. So I expect to be hit hard. I expect you guys to be in there and eat as much food as you want because we have not been able to get the retail the way it should be. So I think once we get the retail and get different things, it'll give you more options to go out there and see as well. And again, I'm open for anything that you guys have for suggestions. I'm open for that. Once we start the C-stores, I think I shared with Corey that I used to bring brokers in that would come in and do sampling in the student union. And then we take surveys, and if the product is there that you like, I guarantee it to be there in 2 weeks on the shelf for you guys to buy. And we're going to start that. We just need to get that rolling with our vendors that we have up here. Anything you want to?
Nothing yet.
Any questions at all or feedback? Listen, and the worst feedback I can have is none, okay? If you have an issue with a product problem in the dining hall, you need to let me know. Don't walk away and say, oh, it's this and it's no good. Come to see me or get hold of someone there and tell them what the issue is so we can get it taken care of. You guys paid for the product, okay? It's, Mom and Dad sent you to school and they paid your meal plan. So our job is to make sure you guys are happy and you have the quality of food. If you don't get what you expect, come and see me. Say, hey Jerry, this is what I found today, and I'll address it immediately. We right now have to, these guys have to do what I call line checks before the night opens. They have to go through and check and taste the food. If they're not going to eat it, I'm not going to feed it to you. If I don't like it, I pull it off the line immediately, and I'll replace it. But that's, yes, sir.
Could you reiterate when the ingredients for each meal would be available to students?
Say that to me again, please.
Could you reiterate when students would be able to see ingredients for each meal?
We're in the process of doing that right now. I talked to my boss today. We've got to get back with the chefs. The chefs are the ones that put it in and demand it and make that happen. What we do is we go back through it. I don't want to give you a false lead on a time. I'm going to say it's going to be very soon. But if I tell you 2 weeks and I don't have it, then I'm in the wrong. But I will tell you we'll get it to you as fast as we can. Or if you have any concerns about any of the food or you need something, ask me that. I can go back and research it for you real quick and get you the information if you need it. Okay, that we can do for you. If you have this, we've been working on special diets. If there's folks come in with special diets, we'll do everything we can do to accommodate whatever they need to have for their diet.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions as far as dietary, we have a dietitian that you can contact, and I believe she's at USD, University of South Dakota. So, yeah, we got cards, pamphlets for you. If you guys have any questions, you could definitely reach out to her.
And then one quick thing that I will add, for those of you involved in student groups, when it comes time for catering or you want food for your event, we have received, I am saying pretty fantastic student menu. The most expensive thing is $5 per person, and there's a ton of good things on it. So if you're looking for food for your event, you'll go visit with Sue Canta there, and she will show you the menu and what kind of options are available. So this is cheaper than anything we've had before, and like I said, all of us looked through it the other day, and there's a lot of good choices for student groups. So it's very budget friendly for student group events.
It's called Square Tomatoes, the name of the menu that we put it together on. And the reason you're not going to find it online is because it's only for you folks. And I showed that recording. I'm not going to put it online for faculty and staff to say, oh, I want that price, I want this, I want that. I want it strictly for the student and student groups. They start at $1 for some items, and the highest one is $5, and then there's some different platters and stuff that cost a little bit more than that. But I think it's a great variety if you're trying to do fundraisers or whatever that you're doing. It's a great price point. You're not going to get that anywhere else, I don't think. And once that happens, and if there's issues with that, please let us know. Because this is a new menu that we're going to roll out here. So some of the things will be the first time the kitchen has made it here. But your thing is just telling me to get off the floor. But I think you'll enjoy it. I know Corey looked at it, and I know that Dr. Joe looked at it as well. Any other questions? Anything else I can help you with? Awful quiet group.
When it comes to the catering, we just ask that you guys get us that at least 4 days prior so we can make sure we can get the product in. So keep that in mind as well.
And then a quick thing that I would add on that, obviously you're working with your advisors and things too, and I'm going to be getting Tammy a list of advisors. So billing for catering has changed, is being billed directly to departments or whoever to take care of that, so that's going to be sent to your advisor. So just make sure that they've got that contact information, and like I said, I'll get Tammy a list next week of who those folks are.
Yes. I have one last thing I want to pitch, and that's employment. So I've worked in a lot of schools in Florida. I had 350 student employees. I like employees working with us, so here's my incentive to you. There's a $200 sign-on bonus. If you come to work with us, you get it 90 days after the time that you sign on. If you come in and you refer 3 other friends, I'll give you $200 for every friend that you sign on with us, and they will have they have to work 90 days, and they'll get that bonus as well as you get the bonus for referral. So there's money out there to be made, and I always like I like students serving students, because I think you guys can deal with each other sometimes better than some of the other people or the other employees that's out there. And I preach hospitality. That's what I preach in there. It's and I say to the staff in any school I've been in, if you don't think students are important, look at the pandemic and how it hit and what happened to our schools. It's the students here is what's important to us. So we're going to push the students, and if there's anything that we can help you with, if you can help us with it, help serving in different areas, that would be great. Plus, you get to give your colleagues across the counter a hard time and get away with it. Yeah.
Any other questions for Gary? Seeing none, thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
All right, moving on to Beta Delta Mu.
Hello, I'm Peyton. I'm Morgan. I'm the president, and I'm the vice president. I don't know if you can see our slides very well, but we're a professional engineering sorority. We're trying to be on campus. Our average GPA is a 3.02, and right now we have 35 active sisters, and then we're actively recruiting for next semester. And then we're just involved a lot on campus, and we do a lot of philanthropic events as well as sister events and professional development, like focusing on that professional aspect. Along with professional development, we're really focused on academics as well. We love to come together and work with each other to improve grades and involvement. And then that is like a breakdown of each grade level we have in the house right now. I had to make 2 little slivers of the pie for graduating and returning seniors, because a lot of us are super seniors. But yeah, we have a lot of people able to like carry on the house. They do. So that's it.
Any questions for Beta Delta Mu? I actually have one. So, professional engineering sorority. So,
Engineer and scientist, sorry.
okay, so
Yeah.
okay. So it's both. I was just.
It's like, we say professional or professional sorority for underrepresented genders in STEM. The official.
Questions for Beta Delta Mu? Seeing none, thank you guys. in science.
Apologize, looks nicer than this today. Still talking to myself, and this is what we're at. So, my slides are a little long. I'm going to go through it really quickly because I know you guys have a lot of things to get to today. So, I'm a graduate student here at South Dakota Mines in Atmospheric and Environmental Sciences, and I'm here to try and reinstate graduate women in science. Next slide. So, a little about us. We were founded in 1921. It is an international organization. There are tons of them across the U.S. This is just a map that I found from about a year ago. They haven't quite updated it yet, but it will be updated, I believe, next month. And there we are, Black Hills. So I believe we were actually brought in at Mines in 2016, it was proposed, and then 2017 whenever it was fully started. But as we know, COVID pandemic really affected a lot of student organizations on campus. And during that time, a lot of the members graduated or they just didn't really participate much because it's really difficult when everything goes online. So it just went dormant. And I'm here today to try to bring back. Next slide. So here's one of the pictures from the 2017 GWIS National Meeting in Sioux Falls. And we actually, I didn't include the picture, but we actually hosted the 2019 GWIS National Meeting as well here at South Dakota Mines. Next slide. So our mission is to build a global community to inspire, support, recognize, and empower women in science. And here's another picture of some of our past members. Next slide. So we have 3 simple goals, and that is to connect, lead, and empower. So we want to build a network of women scientists. We also want to mentor the leaders of today so they can inspire those tomorrow and empower women scientists to excel in their careers. I'm actually working on a lot of research and have been working on research in the past where graduate women tend to be very underrepresented whenever it comes to authorship, research, etc., and even campus climate. So we want to make sure that they feel like they have a space on campus to do so. Next slide. So to connect, our networking will be to bring in some guest lectures, send members to the AAAS annual meeting. I'm not going to say that. And then also have monthly socials with members and faculty and staff. So the AAAS annual meeting is actually in Washington, D.C. It's advancing, I forget the acronym, I'm really sorry, but it's a very large meeting. Hundreds of people attend, professionals as well, and we like to send representatives to that. And they also present their research, so I'm looking at possibly putting my research there. And then we also have national meetings, which are hosted at a local chapter's school. So like we said, we had one in 2019, the one last year was in Wisconsin, and they haven't announced the one this year. Next slide. And then we also would like to do a lot of outreach. So we want to do the Rapid City Women in Science Conference. So team up with WISE, just any other female organizations that host that on campus. The All About Science Festival in Sioux Falls also, and Girl Scouts events. And then we'd like to do some leadership events, so like workshops or seminars or discussions on how to lead. Next slide. And then empower. So GeoWiz, because it is an international organization, it does have quite a bit of funding available for graduate students. So I believe some of the past students that were in GeoWiz here at Mines did receive some of the fellowships, and you can get up to $10,000, which is really great. And it's all designated for tuition and fees. And then awards, we are allowed, every chapter is allowed to present a distinguished woman in science. And so we can give that to one of the women in our community that we believe deserves the award. Next slide. So some fundraising goals we have are Pancheros. We're looking at doing a trivia bingo night. That's a big international thing that they do, and then they give the information to local chapters, so I'm looking into that for here. Stickers, t-shirts, etc., and the monument concessions. I did look into the past funds that we have available, so not soap, but like our own, and we have some sitting in the credit union, and I need to get some more information on that. That's what I'm working on right now. Next slide. And then right now, here's our interim officers, just for now. So myself as president, we have our vice president, Alexander Greger, secretary, treasurer, national liaison, and our advisor as Dr. Kunza. She was actually the advisor previously for GWIS, so we decided to go ahead and keep her as our advisor for now. If you go to the next slide, these are our members that are not officers. We got a lot of people interested in GWIS, which I was very surprised about. I was very happy that those flyers on campus and the emails that went around got out like they did.
This includes both accelerated masters, some undergrads, and graduate students. So we didn't include all of them on this list, but there's more to come, hopefully. That's it. And why should we do student work? Well, our mission is just to create student leaders. We want to support graduate women in their research goals, and I know we have WISE, we have SWE, we have quite a bit of organizations on campus, but what I've heard from stories of graduate students who come on campus that weren't previously undergrads here, they struggle to feel like they have a space because they kind of go to these WISE events or other events, and it's a lot of undergraduate girls and not exactly that many graduate students. So I want to make sure that we also have a space, and then from there we can collaborate with WISE and all the other groups. That is all I have. Thank you.
Any questions for graduate women in science? Or Cfo Keith?
It's not really a question. I imagine you guys could use soap money to send people to your national convention.
Yes.
AAAS. So I would recommend that somebody shows up to tomorrow's soap workshop for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Okay. Sweet.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you, guys.
All right, moving on to unfinished business. Resolution 22F002, Indian Club Supplemental.
Marshall's Lake Resolution number 22F002 presented on 21st September 2022, originated by the Finance Committee, presented by myself. This is about the India Club asking for $5,000 supplemental funding for the body event.
Any questions, comments, motions?
Motion to vote.
Motion by Senator Ellis to vote. Second by Senator Russ.
Archer. Yay. Camp.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Aye.
Espinel. Aye. Fernandez.
Aye.
Hewitt. Aye. Jurin.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Kessinger. Aye. Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Callum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ. Vanderboom.
Aye.
Whip.
Aye.
Passes.
Resolution passes. Moving on to Resolution 22F003, Palbeta Pie headshots. Marshall Schleich, Resolution number 22F003, originated on the 21st of September 2022, originated by the executive branch, presented by President Marshall. As I read this last week, I will not be reading it again. It's just allocating money for the professional headshots for Palbeta Pie. We worked it out. We can actually do this with soap. It's fine. We just need to make sure we contract with the photographer. Any questions or motions? Cfo keys up.
What date are you thinking for this?
I don't know if they've established a date yet. Any other? Senator Russ.
Motion to vote.
Give me a second.
Second.
Senator Dumont. All right. Archer.
Aye.
Camp.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Hulse.
Aye.
Espinel.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurins.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Callum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Vanderboom.
Aye.
Whip.
Aye.
Passes.
All right, moving on to new business. All right, Resolution 22F004, freshman election confirmation.
All right, Marshall Schleich, resolution number 22F004, originated on September 28th, not March 30th, 2022. Originated by the Governmental Relations Committee, presented by myself. Whereas the following candidates received a majority vote in the elections sufficient to be declared the 2023 incoming freshman senators
to pronounce their names, I'm not going to say them. Therefore, be resolved by a majority vote of the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the results of the freshman elections on September 21st, 2022 be formally recognized.
Senator Russ? Are there any questions first, or is it all motions? All motions? You guys going for motions?
Yeah, sure.
You guys also go for motions?
Yeah.
Okay, Senator Russ?
Motion to close.
Motion on the first and the rules, second by Senator Archer. All those, I knew this. Yeah.
Oh, I just would like to have somebody propose a friendly amendment to the date on this.
Yeah, not changing.
Oh, yeah.
March 30th.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for catching that.
I mean, she mentioned it while she was.
I wrote.
My bad. So it's the 28th.
Remember the 28th. September.
Oh my God. Yeah, just space. I know.
That's fine.
Keep going. It'll pull it
All right, here you
Go beat for the 28th. Just keep doing that.
There we go. All right. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, rules are suspended. Senator Russ. Second by Senator Russ to vote, second by Senator Espinay. Archer.
Aye. I did that.
You sure did.
You know, I'll fix that later.
Yeah.
Cantz.
Aye.
Dumont.
Yay.
Else.
Aye.
Espinay.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Gurens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Lanning.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Van Ruler.
Aye.
Whip. Aye. Passes.
All right. Resolution passes. Moving on to resolution 22F005, graduate women in science.
Marshall Slike, resolution number 22F005, originated on the 28th of September 2022, originated in the Constitution Committee, presented by myself. Whereas adequate interest has been expressed by students wishing to form an organization, Sigma Delta Epsilon / Graduate Women in Science Black Hills Chapter, and whereas there are currently no organizations that overlap this interest, and whereas a constitution has been constructed and reviewed for said club, and therefore be it resolved by majority vote of the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the Constitution for Sigma Delta Epsilon Graduate Women in Science Black Hills Chapter be approved, allowing for formal recognition.
All right, any questions, comments on this resolution? All right, seeing none, we will see this next week. Moving on to resolution 22F006, Beta Delta Mu.
Marshall Slake, resolution number 22F006, originated on the 28th of September 2022, originated in the Constitution Committee, presented by myself. Whereas adequate interest has been expressed by students wishing to form an organization, Beta Delta Mu, and whereas there are currently no organizations that overlap this interest, and whereas a constitution has been constructed and reviewed for said club, and therefore be it resolved by majority vote of the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the Constitution for Beta Delta Mu allowing formal recognition.
Friendly amendment. Will you take a friendly amendment?
Would it be resolved if you're like approved? There's no approved in there.
That the Constitution be approved for Beta Delta Mu, allowing for formal recognition.
Oh, yes.
I can't say that.
All right, any questions or comments on this resolution? All right, seeing none, see you next week. Finally, resolution 22F007, standing committee appointments 2. Marshall Schleich, resolution number 22F007, originated on the 28th of September 2022, written by President Marshall and Vice President Schleich, presented by President Marshall. Whereas, with the affirmation of the freshman elections, the incoming freshman senators need to be appointed to standing committee positions, and whereas it has been determined that Senator Alarepe shall serve on the Constitution Committee, and whereas it has been determined that Senator Lockwood shall serve on the Finance Committee, and whereas it has been determined that Senator Dominguez shall serve on the Governmental Relations Committee, and whereas it has been determined that Senator Seekman shall serve on the Public Relations Committee, and whereas it has been determined that Senator Yu shall serve on the Student Affairs Committee, and noting, following the appointment of a final sophomore senator, they should be appointed to a standing committee at that time, and therefore be it resolved by majority vote of the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the appointment of the incoming freshman senators to standing committees be certified.
Senator Hewitt?
I don't have a question.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had your hand up. Sorry. Any comments or motions? Senator Else?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Senator Else?
Motion to vote. Second.
Seconded by Senator Call. For the record, for the new incoming senators, we don't normally suspend the rules, but we usually do this in time of appointments or elections. But usually we do wait the 2-week period for approving resolutions. But anyway, on to that. Let me just sort the other screen. Archer. Aye. Cantz.
Aye.
Dumont. Aye. Else.
Aye.
Espinette. Aye. Hernandez.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurgens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger. Aye. Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson. Aye. Quigley.
Aye.
Russ. Aye. Van Ruler. Whip.
Aye.
Passes.
Alright, thanks guys. Moving on to open discussion. I would like to first have all the freshman senators come up into the center of the room. Up over here. Over here. Let's bring it up. Stand in line in front. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat the following. As a member of the Student Association Senate, South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
As a member of the Student Senate, South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name.
I
Do hereby affirm
hereby affirm
to uphold the office of freshman senator,
to uphold the office of freshman senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. All right, anything else for open discussion? Seeing nothing else for open discussion, moving on to CFO reports.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for the India Club supplemental as well as headshot funding. We'll get that money to the appropriate place as soon as possible. Soap workshops have started yesterday. The last one's tomorrow, so if you guys know of any clubs that haven't attended it that might need soap funding, please let them know. I will also be sending out another email tomorrow morning probably, just because I don't want it to get lost tonight because somebody's checking their email and accidentally overlooks it. We've had 53 orgs attend so far. Expecting probably about 20 tomorrow. I will be uploading the presentation that I give during the workshops to Presence after tomorrow's presentation. And then I'd just like to make a note that with fundraising for clubs, we advise against using Venmo or any other source of electronic payment just because of the risk that it presents to the club. But if you do choose to secure funds in that way, please note that you cannot come after the school for doing so if said person who collects funds does not give you the money. That's why we advise against it. And then also following SOAP, just because you have to be a recognized org to apply for SOAP, Presence accounts need to be set up by October 1st. That's all I have. If there are any questions.
See no questions. Moving on to Vice President report.
Well, congratulations again to all the new senators. I'm really happy that you're up here. I guess the first thing to talk about is that there's the dedication of the Vanderboom Office of Student Success over in the renovated library on Monday. I went to that. It was pretty standard, dedication. Just really grateful that we got that money to help the library make space and everything else. That helps a lot. Mainly what I'll be talking about today is Student Federation, though, for next week. Student Federation, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like the Student Senate of the Student Senates in South Dakota. So each 6 Board of Regents universities send 2 representatives, usually the president and vice president, to Student Federation to kind of work together to petition the Board of Regents for certain things. This year we're going to be petitioning for kind of mental health reform here for the colleges here in South Dakota. So we'll be meeting next week, Wednesday. Senator Jones will be taking my spot because I'll be on an airplane. But we'll be compiling preliminary information for the Board of Regents, which that will be followed by a meeting with Director Maher of the Board of Regents next Thursday to kind of get the ball rolling and start the initial talks for what we kind of expect and what the Board of Regents can kind of give, and we'll be kind of roll through the war, kind of see what we can hopefully get started with that. So that should be good, I hope, for that. And another thing, the director of Student Federation, Katie Townsend, and then Kill Whelan, the president of it, the 3 of us will be working together with all the directors of mental health at the Board of Regents universities to actually bring them into the discussions for this. We're trying to get all 6 directors plus Student Federation with the Board of Regents talking on this. So we're trying to include everybody on this. Speaking of including everybody on this, I'm sure Senator Call can probably talk a little bit more about this during her report, but she compiled, along with the rest of the committee, a mental health better. That's that in the report.
Any questions for Vice President Schleich? All right, seeing none, moving on to President's report. So overall, kind of a little bit slow week outside of University Cabinet. My first time actually going there. We'll be going the rest of the time having as a class. Pretty straightforward. There were some university policies that were voted on. I kind of read over them, kind of a day or 2 leading up to it. Nothing was really of super concern for the student body. Passed unanimously through cabinet. A lot of the stuff was policies being deleted due to redundancy with Board of Regents policies. Outside of that, I forgot to talk last week about my meeting with SEDEC, so I met with them 2 weeks ago now. So obviously, Jared hit all the points I was wanting to hit in my report. Plus some more relevant, more recent developments with how they're going about that. I've been interviewing sophomore senators this week or sophomore senator candidates this week to get that position filled hopefully by next week. Through 3 of the 4, so I'll kind of have a decision out by next week. Thank you to Senator Dumont for getting that sent out to the sophomore class. Just kind of trying to get some applications in for that. Also would like to raise a point as far as the Senate office. It's okay to be in there at all times, or you're in there at all times, even if you're not your office hours, on the exception of committee meetings. So when there's committee meetings in there, it's okay to be in there. Just don't be dominating the table space and kind of don't be too loud. hasn't been any issues as of yet. Just to make sure it's full. Good. Moving forward. Other than that, that is end of my report. Any questions? All right. Seeing none. Moving on to international report.
No report.
Any questions for Senator Fernandez? Okay. Veteran report.
No report.
Questions for Senator Quigley? All right. Graduate report?
No report.
Okay. Any questions for Senator Kissinger? All right. Non-traditional report?
No reports.
Okay. Questions for Senator Cantz? All right. Moving on to committee reports, starting with Constitution.
Thank you for, I guess, listening while we read our 2 things today. We're going to have more in the coming weeks, so please be patient. That's all.
Any questions for Senator Kessinger? All right, moving on to public relations.
We posted our first Senator of the Week today, so check out the Instagram. There's gonna be some good posts coming up. And then for the Senator of the Weeks, we're using like headshots, so if you really hate yours and like don't want me to use it as that, let me know. And then we're working on making a survey to send out to like the student body about the Hard Rocker discount program, like how familiar they are and like what they'd like to see with it. So yeah, look out for that in the report.
Any questions for Senator Else? Seeing none, moving on to governmental relations.
Just please stay afterwards for our body win. We'll be back.
Any questions for Senator Senator
Are we, just this is more a question for you, but if the meeting is way shorter next week, do we want to move that to next week?
I don't care. If everyone wants to leave, that's fine.
Just trying to be respectful.
It was an absolute hurry after this.
Just me, if I can get off to go to practice, but if not, it's still.
I think we'll be through this pretty quick, so I say we just keep it for today. Just,
You guys won't be here.
no.
Yeah, so maybe.
Yeah, keep it this week. Any questions for Senator? All right, student affairs.
We're still planning on having Spirit Friday. We kind of got stuff taken care of that. We have a table rented that will be withdrawn. Senator Quigley, I think he talked to you, Corey, about having shirts as prizes for that. So we'll have that, and I kind of just wanted, I would like a variety of like senators to be there to kind of just like talk. It's really an opportunity for us to just kind of have a conversation with the students about kind of what we've been doing. You know, if they have questions about Sodexo, we can answer those. And then I'm also going to have our survey at the table there. So if you do happen to be working the table, really try and push for students to take that survey. And I do have a sign-up sheet. If people could please sign up. If I can't fill, I want at least like 2 people there at all times. If it doesn't really get filled, it really won't work to have the event. So I'll be passing that around. I really appreciate it. And then also the mental health survey that Vice President Schleich touched on. And that's getting out tomorrow. If you could just really tell your friends to please take the survey, it really is going to help us decide what we need to do for our students.
Any questions for Senator Call?
What day was that?
This Friday is
Next
Good Friday.
Friday, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, Senator Call, so I looked over that survey, it looks great. I didn't know, did you guys want Counseling Director Kavanaugh to look at it before it goes out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can send him an email with it.
Okay, perfect. I'll send him a text message and let him know to take a peek at that in the morning.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions for Senator Call?
So can you quickly explain what would working that table include?
Oh, yes.
Again, just so I'm clear.
Yeah, sorry, I probably didn't touch very well on that. So pretty much I just want it to be kind of like a fun activity for students to connect with Senate. So we're going to have kind of like a game set up there, and students will come and they can play the game. And right now I think it's going to be cornhole. If they get like, we haven't fully decided how many they have to get in to get a t-shirt, but we'll have all of that taken care of before. So if they win the game, they get a t-shirt. That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for Senator Call? All right, campus or ad hoc committees? Senator Paulson.
So I got my When is Good back. Didn't have any good times there. So I sent out another one. Hopefully you guys will consider the times a little bit. Otherwise we're going to be meeting on the weekend. Second of all, I reached out to Jason Erickson in IT to see an update on our cameras that are still arriving in October. No. There's 11 of them showing up in early December, and the last 8 in March. So that's where we're at with that.
Any questions for Senator Paulson? Thank you, Senator Paulson. Moving on, any other campus or ad hoc committees? I'll just give kind of an update for parking improvements. So the SMART Senior Design Group that sent out that parking survey, they got, Senator Durans is on, they got a lot of results, like 700 results. The free version of Survey Monkey, they can only view 40, so I'm allocating, was it $25 from my discretionary fund to get those results, especially. That's insane response to any sort of campus survey. So curious to see those results. Any questions?
What does SMART mean? What does SMART mean?
Smart parking.
Okay. No, wanted to know the entire time.
Any other questions?
My office can cover that fee.
I'm not going to say no to free money.
Who should I work with?
Any other questions? All right, see none. Any other ad hoc committees? All right. Upcoming Senate business, Senate bonding, September 28th. Right now, any announcements? Very quickly.
I actually do have 2 things besides 88 days till Christmas. So it is kind of very far out, but just kind of getting the idea out there. The Vets Club starting next month is going to start getting preparations for the chili cook-off that we do in November. So if you know anybody, any clubs that would like to join and kind of battle against each other and get a good chili going. Last year we raised over $2,000 in prizes, so hopefully we can up that number, so just at least spread the word to the student body. It's going to be happening November 10th, I believe, or 11th. Or it's like 10th or 9th. It's like 9th or the 10th.
Yeah,
I remember those.
it's like,
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, any other announcements? Any motions?
Motion to.
Senator Paulson.
Motion to adjourn.
Second by Senator Russ. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.